In this video, I'm going to talk about our 3-day weekend in Branson and what you can do in order to have the most of your fun time with your family at Big Cedar Lodge. We actually stayed in Wilderness Lodge that is in Big Cedar, so I'll talk about how you can kind of save on discounts and all that stuff. Also, I'm going to share with you Silver Dollar City, some of our favorite rides with all of our kids. We've got 4 kids, all under the age of 8 at the time of this video. And then I'm also going to share with you our basically view of what we loved about Top of the Rock golf cart tour that is in Branson. So stay tuned. I'm going to share with you the grounds there. It's absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. So tips and tricks are coming your way. If you guys don't know, Branson is in Missouri. It's located about 40 miles south of Springfield, nestled in the Ozark Mountains. And it's a really fun place that has a bunch of amusement parks and just beautiful grounds and scenery just all around in the city. So anyway, we took all 4 kids in my Chrysler Pacifica minivan, and we drove right after work one day, and we ended up being able to arrive around dusk. And as you can see, I mean, it's a gorgeous drive, mountains everywhere, especially if you're coming from Kansas City all the way down to Springfield. It's absolutely beautiful. And just so you know, we stayed in Wilderness Lodge, which is a affiliate of, I guess, Big Cedar Lodge, and I think it's where they do a bunch of timeshares, and people that can't do the timeshares, I guess they sell them on eBay, and that's how we got our discount. So we got this like 1-room studio that had 2 queen size beds, and we fit all 6 of us in there. I would say if we wanted to splurge, we could have had 2 rooms, and I think my husband and I would have saved our sanity in a few arguments. But nevertheless, I mean, we spent about $750 for a 3-night stay, so that was not bad at all. And it also had like a outdoor patio area that had a pretty large fence, so that I didn't have any concern with the kids, even though we were on like the 2nd or 3rd floor. But it was a pretty tight squeeze for all 6 of us. Again, 2 queen size beds for 6 of us was kind of insane. But you can see the studio. It's pretty small. It has a little kitchen. We didn't ever cook in it, to be honest. We just decided to eat out just because we didn't want to have to fix food and all that. And this is like the little sink area. There's also a sink for the kitchen area right across the way there. And then it has 1 bathroom and a laundry area, which was kind of nice. So overall, I mean, it was a really good stay. And you can see the pack and play that we had in the back there. And then the beds were comfortable. They weren't like the best, but this is like the little pack and play that we had for our little one so that she could stay. But the kids stayed in the sofa bed. So this room was a studio, and that sofa bed obviously became a bed at night, and that's where the kids stayed. And we never actually put it away once we left. It just stayed a sofa bed the whole entire time, and all 3 kids were able to stay in there. The kids at the time were 8, 7, and 4, I believe, and they were able to kind of sleep in it just fine. So anyway, that was the extent of our bedroom. And when we left in the morning, we could actually see the grounds because it was pretty dark when we actually got there, and the grounds are absolutely breathtaking. Big Cedar Lodge and Wilderness Lodge are literally like connected together. You can't really see a difference except for the signs, but I feel like the spaces were exactly the same. So I don't think we were missing out on the Big Cedar name, but they're literally right next to each other. Like, I'm not even lying. So basically, whenever I got the quote from Big Cedar Lodge themselves and also online, it was going to be like $1,000 a night. And to me, $1,000 a night in Branson was not worth it. I mean, that's the price of like Disney World, but anyway, we were able to get a deal on eBay, and I was able to kind of trust that the person would actually do everything that they could to get us that room, and they were able to do that. I'll make sure that I link the eBay like search listing that I used in the comments below, but it saved us like almost 75%. So it was definitely worth it, and I'm so glad I didn't pay what Big Cedar was going to quote me on that, especially like if you're trying to book through the Wilderness Lodge area. But this is what the parking lot looks like. We went on a super rainy weekend, and actually it turned out to be fine because it didn't like rain the entire time, and we were able to go into Silver Dollar City for free one of the days, because Silver Dollar City has like this rain or shine policy where if it rains, you do get a day that you can go back. So just a heads up, if it rains for like over a certain period, you get an extra ticket that you can use the next day for everybody. I would recommend buying Silver Dollar City tickets like before you get there, to be honest, because especially on really good weather days, like that line for tickets can be tremendously long. So buy your tickets in advance is my recommendation, and pay for parking if you can. My husband decided not to pay for parking. It was a terrible walk to and from the park. So word to the wise, pay for parking and also buy your tickets in advance. And the grounds at Silver Dollar City are also very, very clean. It's really fun, and you can see it rained prior to us getting there, so you can see like there weren't a lot of people. And if you can plan on a weekend where it's kind of gonna sprinkle, I'd recommend that because we went on the day that was raining versus the day after when it wasn't raining with our free ticket, and the lines for the rides that we wanted to ride twice was like 4 times as long as it was the day that it was raining. So just a heads up. Like any amusement park, Silver Dollar City has really, really awesome places where you can pose with kids, as you can see here. So that was really fun. Also, one of our favorite rides of all time was the American Plunge, which is just this water ride that goes down this big steep hill that I'll show you here in a minute. But overall, the kids have a blast there. So my kids, again, were ages of like 3 to all the way to 8. And this is one of the rides where you get to shoot bad guys in a cave. And so it was just really fun just to see the kids having a blast and being able to ride in these small rides that everyone is able to get on, which is really, really exciting. There's also a train there, and I wouldn't recommend it as your first ride because obviously you want to be in line for some of the bigger rides, but it's a train ride so that you can see the park in its totality, so that you can see across all the trees, all the rides are available. And what's really cool about Silver Dollar City is that it's kind of nestled in this like foresty, woodsy area, so that you can't really see all the rides like you can in, let's say, Kansas City's Worlds of Fun. You can kind of see all the rides in like the skyline, whereas there's a lot of hills that you're having to kind of trek around in Silver Dollar City. And so being able to just ride the train just to see everything at a higher vantage point is pretty cool. So you might be able to see some of the workers there that are kind of manning some of the stations. This is like the American Plunge, and our kids literally rode this about 8 times. They absolutely love it. I know that Kansas City's like Worlds of Fun has a very similar ride called the Viking Voyager. This is similar to that, but that plunge is a lot deeper, and also people get wetter, if that's a word. And then they've got this little area where if you don't seek it out, you might miss it. There's a little kids area that has like fire stations and all that stuff. Our kids absolutely love this area. And there's also a ride where you go to the very top. It's called the firewall, and all the way down. So if you're familiar with the Worlds of Fun, it's similar to the detonator. It's right behind this ride. But overall, the kids actually had a really fun time in this area. Also, there's a section where it's like the fireplace landing or something like that, where the water spouts out. So if you want to bring swimsuits for the kids, they can definitely get wet there as well. If you're wondering if there are rides for little kids there, yes, there are rides. There are just a handful of them. I know some of my kids weren't able to ride on some of the bigger ones. You'll probably have better luck with Disney for like lower height limits for some of the roller coasters. This is Miss Molly Mills restaurant. I hope I said that right. But they have breakfast here. It's the usual fixins, pancakes, breakfast sausage, scrambled eggs, you name it. It was okay. I'll just leave it at that. I wanted to talk about the grounds at Big Cedar and Wilderness Lodge for a little bit. It is absolutely breathtaking. You could probably do family photos here if you wanted to. So bring some outfits for your family if you want to do photos around some of the breathtaking views and some of the scenery that is here. But it is absolutely gorgeous. There are like different places where the kids can play, and also there are like swimming areas as well that your kids can go to. There is a lazy river at the Wilderness Lodge, which is awesome. Our kids absolutely loved it. We had a blast after like kind of visiting some of the different areas like Silver Dollar City. We went back and cooled down there. So if you didn't want to buy like the water park to White River Rapids or whatever it's called, you can just go back to Big Cedar and go hang out in the pools there. But as you can see, there are little waterfalls everywhere. It's absolutely breathtaking, and the scenery is very similar when you go to Top of the Rock golf cart tour. So just a heads up there. Right to the right here is a restaurant that we tried to get into, but it was just packed. So we ended up going like 2 days later. So just a heads up, make reservations when you can. My absolute favorite part of our vacation was the Top of the Rock golf cart tour. I think it cost around $80 or something like that. I'll go ahead and link again to the post about this trip below. But I just absolutely love being able to ride around with the family and kind of stopping wherever we wanted to and enjoying the landscaping. I know it's a man-made landscaping, but it was just pretty cool just to kind of see all the different things that they had set up, including like this little bridge here, which was absolutely breathtaking as well. And again, like I think Branson is a great place to take family photos. So if you have a DSLR or if you want to take family photos, this is the place to do it, guys. It is so beautiful here. Like I can't even describe it in words. We were pleasantly surprised. We thought it was just gonna be like a funny golf cart that we just rode around in, but I just think that they did a phenomenal job here. And there's an awesome cave that you go into, which is really, really cool. And you can see that on the right there. This cave has a bartender right when you get in, which is kind of neat. You know, I've never seen a bartender inside a cave before. So that was a first for me, but it's really cool because it has like these waterfalls that are inside the cave. And I don't do it justice because the camera wouldn't do a lot of low light here. But let me just tell you, it was just really cool. And you can see here on the right, there is a bar right there with all the prices and all that stuff right there listed. And it's just really neat. And then as you leave the cave, obviously you're going through the trail again. And I think the trail took us maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half to get through. So it was really, really fun. As we went through, you could see like they had different signs that you could read. There's also this area where they had this like little bear cave, pretend bear cave that had sounds for the kids. So that was kind of fun to see. Overall, I would recommend Top of the Rock Golf Cart Tour. It is absolutely worth it. I think that I don't know why. It might be the ability to just hang out with the family, be close to each other, just hang out on one little car and talk and joke around. I just think that it was just a really incredible experience, at least for our family. One of our last stops on the trip was to the fish hatchery, and it's a little conservation department that you can go into in order to see some different fish that they include inside the dam, I believe. I'm probably saying that wrong. But anyway, it has a bunch of little fish tips and like learning and education material that the kids will absolutely love. They've got a little inside area that has an aquarium, also has different like animals like fish and turtles and all that good stuff that they can look at and get educated on. So if you guys wanted like a Girl Scout or Boy Scout science experiment or write up, this is a great place that you can do that. The kids absolutely love this area as well. Now they have a fish hatchery outside. If you have a little one like mine, make sure you're holding their hands because there are little holes that they can potentially you could lose your kid in. So just make sure you're holding your kid's hands really tight. But you can see that there's a bunch of like fish hatcheries here. You can go and look through and also feed the fish as well. They've got an area where you can put a coin in and then basically feed the fish. So my kids absolutely loved it. They only lasted for about 10 minutes though. So just a heads up, if you go on a really hot day, I'm sure that your kid will be like my 3-year-old. She started freaking out, and then we had to leave early. But overall, it is a recommended place to go. Just check out. You might only spend 30 minutes there, but it's kind of cool just to go see and extend your little vacation a little bit longer so that you can see everything that Branson has to offer. I hope you guys liked that video. If you guys want more vacation ideas for your family or your big family or small family, go ahead and click on that like button. Click on subscribe so that you get notifications the next time I upload a new video. All right, bye guys.